First impressions for the spring season. Now, ironically, I actually thought that this season was going to be horrible. I don't know what could have followed one of the best seasons in recent memory. It was summer 2024. I mean, it had anime for everyone. The Isekai fans had Konosuba and Mushoku Tensei. The shonen fans had Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia. The seasonal fans who liked watching new and unique shows had Train to the End of the World and Bokyoko Battery. So overall, I would say it was one of the best seasons, at least for me. Now, on paper, none of these shows look good, except a few. I have to admit it, except a few. Wand and Sword, Wistoria, or something like that. Elusive Samurai looked unique and, ironically, elusive. And Tower God was finally making its return after apparently 4 years. I didn't watch the first season. I'm going to watch it. I mean, I've heard things about this ending of season 1, so I look forward to watching this. But yeah, let's get into the video. Now, the first show I watched of this year was the Shoushimen Series. I think that's what it's named. Ironically, this was never on my radar. I was watching probably Pretentious's video, and this looked promising in terms of the animation. I'm not the biggest fan of romance shows. The only other romance I've ever watched was Nagatoro and Bunny Girl Senpai. So if you're going to ask me about this show in terms of its romance, I couldn't tell you if it was good or bad. Overall, I thought it was really nice. I thought it was really solid. The characters felt young, since both of the characters are like 14, 15, something like that. There were some clever storyboards, which is ironically a very common thing this season. You'll see what I'm talking about in the other show. But it was a solid episode, especially the ending for the episode was insane. I don't know what was happening. Apparently this is a thriller show, but oh my god, that's those series of shots. I know most of the people who are watching this video have watched the episode, so you already know. But god damn, despite me not understanding what was happening, I felt it, which I think is a good thing. Moving on to the next series, we have Suicide Squad. I will say this about Suicide Squad: it's a Wood Studio anime. In terms of production, what else could you say about Wood Studio? They have been delivering some of the best shows in terms of animation of the past decade. I thought it was a poor execution of trying to translate Western characters into how anime characters talk. The character designs were weird, to say the least. Overall, I'll give it a 6 to a 7. After all, this is an impressions video, so let's see what happens next. I've only watched the first episode, so if you're gonna say, oh, the second episode had good animation, or the third episode had good animation, it's wit, so what could you expect? It's nothing new. I look forward to it. I really do. The third anime I'm going to be talking about is the Elusive Samurai. Now, let's get the bad things out of the way. I'm not going to be judging the characters. I'm not going to be judging the plot. I will judge the episode as a whole. Now, since we're going to be talking about the cons of the show, or the things that I didn't enjoy, it was weird, to be honest. Like, how does a university professor makes fun of you in front of the class, especially since this is supposed to be a elite magic university? So I'm like, doesn't make sense. The bullying thing was like, bro, what? It's like, what the hell am I watching right now? It gave me secondhand embarrassment. The comedy was, that face that the other professor made, was funny. I'll be honest. But the other things, like, what the hell, bro? But let's talk about what the show did good. Obviously, the animation is insane, so we're not gonna be talking about that. You already know that the animation is insane. I'm not going to be spending an entire section trying to talk or praise the animation that is already praised by everyone. However, I was really surprised by the storyboards. Like I said at the beginning of the video, they were smart. I'm not the biggest fan of storyboards. I'm trying to understand what is happening in general, but the way that the camera would cut to wide shots enhanced the scene. The character animation, I said I'm not going to be talking about the animation, but the character animation was well done. It was realistic for most of the episode, but the best thing about the entire episode was the music. I'm not sure who worked on the music. As a matter of fact, give me a second to go and check right now. Yuki Hayashi. Oh, okay. Yeah, no wonder. It's the guy who worked on My Hero and Haikyuu. So yeah, he's also going to be working on Ao no Miboru, which is a show that I look forward to watching next season. Now, going back to the topic of the show, the music was really well done. It felt unique. It was what elevated the fight to the other level. Fight sequences don't surprise me anymore as much as they would have done, let's say 5 years ago or 10 years ago, because realistically speaking, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but everyone, or rather most animators these days, are action animated, so you really have to do something extremely unique, and it was well done. I'm not saying that it was bad, but I'm just saying that you need to do something unique in order for me to be like, wow, that is insane. It was an A-tier episode in terms of action animation, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. Overall, I would say, let's see, this could be interesting. It definitely won't be the sleeper hit of the season. I think the next show that I'm going to be talking about will be that. But yeah, let's see. Now, the Elusive Samurai was a show that I've only seen 10 to 15 seconds worth of promotional material prior to me watching the show, and I didn't want to continue watching them, or rather, I didn't want to continue watching the trailer, because as soon as I saw that art style, I knew that this show was going to be for me, and I'm very, very happy to report that it lived up to the expectation, and in some ways surpassed what I was actually having in the back of my mind. The character animation, like, genuinely speaking, the running animations and when the characters move, so dynamic and quite literally elusive. It's like the main character is so loose and nimble that just put a smile to my face, you know. To be honest, I felt a little salty because I was like, why did they not use this sort of animation to animate Kingdom? You know, oh my god, man, I feel jealous. It was a really solid episode. At some points funny, at others, you know, a bit cringe, but in general, I think this will truly be the sleeper hit of the season. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a like. Yes, I copied this ending from Sinchi, but who cares? Holler at me on Twitter. I would love to talk to you. And yeah, bye.